We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on the Miami Dolphins offense versus the Texans. They were pretty much chilling in this one. They were a little rusty coming off the bye, but it was versus the Texans, and they started up 30-0. They pretty much didn't even play the second half offensively. They only had a couple drives, so I'm just going to break down the first half. But Tua still looked good in this one. A couple of mistakes. Waddle had a couple drops. The blocking could have been better. There were some injuries and some stupid penalties kind of killed some drives, and it could have been even worse for the Texans because the Dolphins kind of beat themselves a few times. But overall, not too worried. It was a little rust coming off the bye, but they were chilling overall. So let's get right into this one. I know a lot of people expected the Dolphins to just run all over the Texans defense, but they did key on the run a lot, especially early, and the Dolphins came out play action right away, doing what they do best. Just Tua hitting his back foot and delivering over the middle of the field about 10 yards deep. He just sticks that foot in the ground, sees it. They're running man-to-man, which is interesting, and not a lot of teams run man-to-man versus Dolphins, especially early. And the Texans did go away from it at some point to play zone, but this is a good play showing, they can still do what they're good at, play action. Tua instantly turning around, finding Waddle, knows where he has to go, gains perfect depth, and just delivers a good ball over the middle of the field, picking up, these 10-yard chunk plays. They did it right off the rip, first two plays. The second play into the game, they hit Tyreek Hill over the middle of the field. They go back to their bread and butter, the RPO, get the slant, flat, wheel combo coming from the other side of the field. Tua just reading the flat defender, reading this safety who comes down, and once he sees him come down like this, going out for the wheel and possibly taking down this flat, Tua's just reading this, throwing with anticipation. He's already ready to throw it with Hill being behind this defender. And then, them on the same page, sort of sitting this down right here, right at the sticks again, picking up a nice little 13-yard gain, have Hill work a little bit after the catch. This play has been working all season long. Teams really don't have an answer for it overall. They have been trying to take away more of the glance route, more of the wheel concept as of late, and Tua's just been taking the flat, but when they come down towards the flat, Tua's just reading this, getting the ball out quickly, making good, quick decisions. I think this was Tua's best play in the game. This is the first drive. It's 3rd and 7. They come out. They're in empty. The Texans rotate into cover 2 post-snap, and Tua recognizes this. And just look at him read this. They're showing a look that it could be like a cover 3, but this could definitely rotate into a too high look, middle field open. He reads this, and he's just now looking at he knows the Texans. Lovie Smith is the coach, and he is known for running a lot of Tampa 2, and he sees the 2 high safeties, middle field open up, and once he keys the Mike linebacker back, going towards number 3 of Tyreek Hill, trying to carry vertically, he snaps his eyes back to the opposite side of the field and hits Waddle over the middle. Just great processing on this play by Tua. He just understands what he's seeing this year. He's playing with so much confidence, and you can really see his eyes work better from this angle. So just watch this. He looks at the safety first, and now his eyes go straight to 58, and once he sees his back turn to carry this way towards the 3 receiver side, he gets his eyes back to this side of the field, and he knows all this space is here, and he just delivers with anticipation. Perfect ball placement to hit Waddle in stride, allowing him to get some yards after catch, get a nice 22-yard gain on 3rd and 7. Really, really excellent play from Tua and Waddle there. Dolphins on this first drive are only able to pick up 3 points, and it's basically because of a holding call on the 1st and 10 right before this. So now they're in 1st and 20, and then they come out, should pick up a nice chunk play, and then Waddle has a drop. He's definitely struggled with some drops this season. He's definitely made up for it. I mean, the drops aren't a super huge deal because he makes so many big plays. But I do like them coming out into this play call. They rotate into a 2-deep look again. This corner's playing in the flats. And they're knowing these corners are playing in the flats, so they have 2 guys basically stretch the field horizontally, both Ingold and Wilson, which ends up, he gets eyes here, and he knows he has to respect this flat. Tua sees him sit flat-footed and delivers this ball with perfect timing, perfect ball placement. It's a great, chunk play to pick up on 1st and 20. They're at least going to pick up 12 yards here. He catches it or would have caught it around 11 yards and was going to maybe pick up a yard or 2 more if he gets hit there by the safety. But Waddle can't hang on. Just some mental mistakes and, dropping the ball really killed some drives in this one. I think it was more rust coming out of the bye. And at least it was versus the Texans. Get these mistakes out of the way against a team that isn't as big as of an opponent as the next few weeks are going to be. So hopefully the team can make up for it against the Niners. The first play of the next drive after they kick the field goal, they come out and they do, their unique play action behind the back in shotgun. You don't see many other teams ever really do this. And, this does a really good job. Just look at the effect on these 3 linebackers, how much they move. Also, you have the pulling guard, which also affects their eyes, and it just creates a clean pocket. And then you have Hill working vertically, Waddle working on a deep corner, and then you have Sherfield, all this space on the deep over route. This is just a beautiful, beautiful play call by Mike McDaniel. He's just opening up receivers pretty constantly. It's a really nice marriage between the receivers, the quarterback, and the coach, because Tua, when things aren't open, he does a great job of opening things with his eyes, body manipulation. The receivers are obviously capable of getting open. They're great separators. And then McDaniel with his great play calling. It's just when so many people can get open in so many different ways in an offense, it makes it very, very difficult to stop. Off the play action again, this time you get a little motion pre-snap from angled, which gets this flat defender to come out quickly. And Tua, everything is just timing in this offense. Once Tua hits his back foot, he is ready to release. Like, this is just great. Footwork in the pocket, everything is clean here. He gets lined up, opens it up a little bit, and then just great ball placement. Like, he lets this go just because he sees this linebacker open up his hips like this, so he just throws it to his back and just gets it right over the hand. Hits Hill with good ball placement, and just picking up these chunk plays down the middle of the field. This is what I really love about the Dolphins offense, is they attack vertically over the middle of the field, and the ball comes out very quickly. But with Hill and Waddle being so fast, they can get down the field so quickly, and it's still 10 plus yards down the field, and the ball's out just like that. 2 seconds, sometimes under 2 seconds. I also like this little motion just because of what it does. It makes this flat defender have to key on this and get out quickly so he can throw into this window. And you could have thrown it to this window right here, but he sees this linebacker going up and wants to throw it behind him. Give Hill an easier catch there. Get an easier open window because it's a little more open to this side. So yeah, good play all around from pretty much everyone. 4th and 1, and the Dolphins come out and empty and shotgun, clearly showing you what they trust with their offense. They have a lot of trust in Tua and the passing game. It's definitely the strength. The running game is just too inconsistent, and I think it comes down to blocking a lot of the time. The O-line did struggle in this game, especially when Armstead got hurt. They had some backups in. Austin Jackson did not have a great game. Mainly in the second half, especially like early in the second half, they just started bringing cover 0, cover 1. 2 got sacked, and then they pulled up. They didn't want him to get hurt. But this is a good play by Tua, manipulating with his eyes. You can just tell this is what he's doing here. He's quickly trying to look off this defender, hold him just enough to get him to go towards Tyreek. He probably could have taken this to Tyreek, but he just threw it to Tyreek before this. Knew they would key on him, so he was thinking he can open this up. He has Sherfield to the backside, one-on-one with a linebacker, and he's going to take this every single time. Great job by Sherfield to hold on to this, secure the catch. It's way more important than trying to score, after the touchdown here. But just, you can see this, and Tua sort of hesitates too, just a second, because he's ready to release this. But I think this defender, coming unblocked, makes him hold it for just an extra second, and then he throws it over the head of him, and Sherfield makes a tough catch in traffic, taking a hit. Sherfield, a very nice slot receiver for this offense, being a bigger body, a little more physical. He can take these hits over the middle of the field, and it's definitely been a big help to this O. Tua creating in the pocket. Obviously, his first read, we'll watch it here at full speed here. But great job. Tua actually did a really good job in this game avoiding in the pocket. This is one of, if you're able, he obviously isn't the greatest athlete, but he's always done a really good job of making guys miss in these small spaces in the pocket, and then getting up, keeping his eyes downfield, and then, finding the open guy. Obviously, his first reads aren't here. All these routes are pretty much dead. He might be able to fit this to Waddle, but it's a very tough throw. The route to Gesicki is dead. He comes back to the other side of the field. He can probably take this to Smythe, but he's starting to feel the pressure come off, so he just escapes, gets up in the pocket. Good pocket awareness, good pocket movement, keeps his eyes downfield, finds Smythe. That's how you create on your own, get these touchdowns. Tua had a couple, I feel like I'll show a mistake he had later in the game, definitely one of his worst reads he's had in a few weeks, but it was basically only one bad read in this game. All the other plays that were kind of negative on the offense were either on receivers or the O-line. But yeah, one bad mistake in 4 weeks from Tua, I think I'll take that. Dolphins have done this a couple times this year. Obviously, they love to run the RPO, but doing it from under center where Tua sort of, turns back around, has his eyes away from the receiver. This is clearly just a box count read. They have 6 guys to block, right? The 5 linemen and the 1 tight end. And the Texans have 7 guys in the box. So he's just making a box count read. They have 1 extra guy. So Tua is just going to, see them come down, take this off, and just hit the quick slant to Tyreek Hill. Hits him perfectly in stride. And this is, this is honestly one of Tyreek Hill's most yards after catch from Tua this year. A lot of his yards after catch came from the other quarterbacks. But this is just a good box count read, good play call. This is a very difficult thing to stop, especially under center, because you never see this where a guy has his back to the receiver on an RPO and then to come and find him. This is pretty special stuff. Good footwork too. And then Tyreek Hill, obviously showing what he's capable of. He's so explosive. Just moves differently than anybody else in the NFL. River Craycraft honestly was one of the biggest bright spots in this game. Like, he was catching everything. Obviously, a great ball from Tua. They're going back to the similar RPO concept, but this time they have him looping around. This is something that we had. I don't know if we've seen this maybe once with this concept, but they have him loop around this time. Usually they have him motion across. This time they loop motion for the wheel, which I think maybe gets the people to spread out a little bit more. And then they have the flat coming, and he's just reading this defender. He sees 53 with outside leverage, and Tua makes a nice tight window throw. Perfect ball placement to Craycraft to get some yards after catch. Pick up, 11 yards on a 2nd and 10 right there. So good all-around read by Tua there. Good catch by Craycraft, picking up some extra yards. Craycraft was really reliable in this one. I think this is one of his first games back since being healthy, but he definitely looks like he's back to 100%. And he's a nice little 4th, 5th receiver to have because he's made some big plays for the Dolphins. He scored a couple touchdowns this season, and he made some nice chunk plays in this one. I bet the Dolphins wish they could have this one back. Me too, because this would have been a highlight reel catch from Waddle. Like the body control, the vertical explosiveness. He had a very similar catch like this against the Steelers, I believe. Also a good play call to attack quarters. They have the number 3 attack, basically just being a clear out, attacking the middle of the field to take these safeties with him, and then having Waddle get in behind the linebackers. And Tua makes a great throw to get this just over the linebacker's hands. He throws it where only Waddle can catch it, and he's just, look at how high he is in the air, the body control. This looks like a catch, and then he just doesn't hang on to it as he's coming down. I think he's looking ahead to the safety, just needs some better concentration there. I think, Waddle's hands are fine with the drops. I think it's more of a concentration thing, just looking for safeties. And just look at this throw. Great read by Tua. Able to come off the number 3, find Waddle coming in behind it, and then just over the hand of that linebacker, and Waddle, you can see his eyes sort of looking towards the safety right here, and I think that's what makes him lose control of the ball, thinking these safeties might come down and hit him. So just need to have some better concentration in those areas, but that would have been an absolutely insane catch, and just another excellent throw from Tua. It's just week after week now. I don't care what defense he's facing. Other quarterbacks aren't having as great a performance against these defenses. He's just making great reads. It doesn't matter what defense you're facing. If you're making great mental reads every single play, his processing has been ridiculous. The performance from the defense doesn't really matter when it comes to those specific things. So I'm just hopefully Tua can light up the Niners because they have one of the best defenses in the NFL, because that would be amazing for the whole narrative and negative people that have been about Tua. I like how this play action and this pull from the left guard here sort of creates this just open lane for Tua to throw to, because they have him play action out of the backfield. They have the motion to get things flowing this way so nothing is coming off this edge, and 65 is able to get out and cut him off. This edge defender goes the inside, so it just creates this wide open pocket for Tua, and now they're attacking cover 2, and Waddle's going to sit in between these triangle of defenders, and Tua just has to deliver it on time. He's ready to throw it as Waddle's turning around. He probably could throw it with more anticipation, but just wanted to make sure, Waddle was at the right depth with everything, because he does sort of give an extra little hitch there more than usual, but he's just making sure because he knows he's open, and then makes a nice throw. Very good accuracy, just enough velocity needed to fit it into this window, and they're just picking up chunk plays after chunk plays. They're just one of the best play action teams in the NFL, and with the running game can just be more consistent game to game, because some games it's really good, some games it's just not there. And if they have a more consistent running game, they're going to be very, very difficult to stop, even against some of the best defenses. Waddle really makes up for some of those drops earlier on this big time play here. They're attacking cover 2. Usually Tua would take the shot over the middle of the field right there to Hill, the quick glance over the middle. Cover 2 usually wouldn't attack with this post, but he gives it a little bit of a pump fake. He sees this linebacker's back, like he knows he could throw this to the middle of the field, but he sees Petrie drive like this, and once he sees him drive, he's going to throw to this space, throw it up for Waddle basically one-on-one to go and get it. I love, the confidence there, and Waddle goes up, makes a nice catch. He definitely has the ability to make these catches. He's got that explosiveness. He has some good tracking ability. He just needs to work on the concentration. And then good job attacking with his hands there at the highest point, and then pulls it in. He has the contested ability. Love this play from Waddle. Big time. Want to see some more shots down the field. And a pretty solid ball from Tua. Maybe he could have thrown it a little more to his space, but I think he was just giving Waddle the one-on-one opportunity, and Waddle made the play. One of the areas where I think Tua has improved this season is actually rolling to his right and making some throws. This time he doesn't get to actually roll to his right. They've had him roll to the right, make some more throws on the run, but he does a great job recognizing this unblocked defender. Usually Tua in the situation either would just throw it away real quickly or gotten sacked like in years past. But look at him sort of like reset his feet here. How quickly he does this to get his feet reset, to give him a chance to throw this to Hill. He knows exactly where Hill is. He knows this offense so well. He throws it low and away because, he's kind of floating this because he's throwing it off his back foot, knowing, the safety could come down, be closer to it possibly, and he has to make just a quick throw here, so he doesn't have time to read everything because his back was to the defense he was rolling out. Throws it low where Tyreek Hill can only have a chance to make a play on the ball. Just an excellent play, making these quick decisions. Not everything is going to be perfect for you, and when things haven't been perfect, Tua has made great plays still this season because a lot of times things have worked out, and Tua has been amazing, but this time things aren't going exactly as planned, and Tua still makes a good play, and good job by Tyreek working back for this ball. That was the one bad decision I thought Tua had in this game was 3rd and 5 on the 5, and you can tell he's just trying to manipulate with his eyes, looking to this side of the field. He's not really thinking that he's probably going to throw this to Waddle. They have a 3-on-2 over here, and pre-snap, he just sees this safety playing outside leverage, and he's just going to throw, he wants to throw this to Gesicki in between the safety and behind this linebacker, and that's where he's planning to go with it pretty much the whole time, just based on what he saw pre-snap. But since the safety isn't really looking at him, he's just reading the receivers. He doesn't, hold with his eyes and then comes back to it. He wanted to just hold this safety, thinking he could make a play on it, but Petrie never really reads Tua. He's just reading the receiver. He was kind of baiting this the whole time and makes a good play and would have drove and possibly had an interception, but the linebacker blocks it. So yeah, that was probably his worst decision I've seen him make in weeks, and it was basically just him coming up pre-snap, deciding where he's going to go with the ball, try to manipulate a safety with his eyes, and it ends up just not working out in his favor. Not too worried about this term in the long term because, this happens every once in a while. This mistakes will happen on those types of plays, but with all the positives that come from Tua's eye manipulation, I think, I'll take a negative play every now and then. More props to River Craycraft. Also, Tyreek Hill, they're running, cover 6 here. And look at 58, has to carry Hill down the field. So they have the linebacker carrying him down the field, and then they have, 2 deep quarter safeties that key on it, and Craycraft. This is a great play call to beat this cover 6 right here, beat quarters of the side of the field, just clear out, and then throw the dig behind it to Craycraft. Great timing by Tua as well. Seeing this, he's just holding with his eyes here, come back to the other side of the field. He knows where he's going with the football, and then deliver a good, perfect ball over the middle of the field to Craycraft. Everything, the timing there, it's all perfect, and Craycraft was picking up some big plays in this one. Love to see that. Love to see other people get involved. The whole offense isn't just Tyreek, but even when Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle aren't making plays, they are having a huge effect on the defense. Last play that I'm going to break down. Obviously, this is still in the first half. All the plays I've showed were first half plays. Dolphins offense really looked pretty good. Obviously, they probably could have finished with some more touchdowns. The defense did a great job, getting a touchdown, scoring themselves, so the opportunities were even limited, because if a defense, gets you down, you score within one play, the Jeff Wilson touchdown, and then they all score a defensive touchdown, that just takes away offensive opportunity, and Tua still had 300 yards passing, so obviously, they played pretty well. On this play, though, right here, he feels off pressure off the both sides. Great pocket awareness, step up in the pocket, reset your feet, keep your eyes down the field, and then throw a great ball over this defender, because this is also a pretty good play call, because the number, they motion him over Craycraft. He's running, a whip route back to the inside. It holds eyes of this curl defender, the hook curl, and then they throw it over him to they don't want to throw this out into the cover 2 corner, so he just sneaks it behind him. Perfect ball placement to keep it within this zone of defenders, and you pick up a nice 20-yard play. And I just love the feel in the pocket while keeping his eyes downfield, and he does a great job of keeping his feet beneath him to deliver a nice ball to Cedric Wilson. Every receiver was getting involved in this one. Didn't have too much to play with in the second half. Obviously, I'm a little worried about the offensive line with Armstead being out. I think they need to move Brandon Shell to right tackle because that's where he's more comfortable. Because I'm pretty sure Jackson also got hurt in this one, and then have Little play left tackle because I don't think he's going to be too successful at right or left. But Shell looked way more comfortable at the right tackle, and overall, I think they end up scoring a field goal on this drive, anyways. Could have finished with some more touchdowns. There were some dumb mistakes throughout the game. Obviously, they were rusty coming off a bye. At least it was the Texans. So obviously, need the team to step up next week against the Niners, playing then the Chargers, and then some tough opponents down the road. It's going to be really fun to watch. I think Tua's been amazing this season. Love Mike McDaniel. Waddle had some drops in this one, but he's still making explosive play. Hill playing amazing as usual. River Craycraft, Durham Smythe scoring a touchdown. Trent Sherfield making some clutch catches. Even Cedric Wilson getting involved. Get a more consistent running game in this offense is going to be lethal. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.